Hello? Yeah? YouTube? YouTube wants me back? You say the fans demand it? Oh, no fans demand it, so there's no pressure. Okay, that's a really weird way to word that. Well, I'll have to think about it. Do I have to make thumbnails with like weird faces? Like, I do. Okay. Well, all right, I'll let you know. Thanks for calling. Okay, bye-bye. Well, I guess I'm back. Miss me? Huh? Today, we are scouring the city, beautiful Austin, Texas, to find the perfect vintage toy haul. Please join me as we search through antique stores, collectible stores, toy stores for that special little goodie, because I deserve a treat, right? Right? First stop today is a place I've been wanting to cover on the channel for quite a while. They say everything is bigger in Texas. This place definitely fits that description. It's called Crossroads. It's right across the street from my work. I've gone in here multiple times over the years. This place has a little bit of everything. They've got like old antique weapons and swords and war uniforms, and they've got comic books and records. They have all kinds of collectibles, and then they have some vintage toys. And it's always hit or miss with what I find here, because sometimes I go in, there's like a ton of stuff. Sometimes I go in, there's not much. And today was kind of hit in the middle. So the first thing I noticed when I came in was a huge sign that sort of bummed me out. It said no filming. And so I couldn't get a lot of footage here, but I did sneakily grab a few shots for you. This place is massive, like I said. It took over an old rooms to go furniture store. So this is a furniture store sized collectible store, toy store, whatever you want to call it. They had some stuff. There was a case of Motu. There was a case of this and that. There were some carded action figures hanging on pegs, stuff like that. The best thing in the store was hands down the Lost in Space 60s Robbie Robot toy. Never seen this thing. It was out of my price range, but so cool. I think overall, Collector's Crossroads was a bust for today's hunt. So we're on to the next destination. Next up, we're heading over to the North Loop area in Austin. It's a super hip spot to hit up a store called Room Service Vintage. Now, this is a vintage store, like as far as clothes and antiques and stuff like that, but I have found many a cool toy in this store over the years, and so it's definitely been on my radar. Today was no different. I saw lots of really neat stuff, a lot of things that I'm starting to get into, like older kind of antique-y stuff for the house. They had some really nice vintage Halloween decorations out just in time for the season. Love that stuff. Almost walked away with this cat. Wasn't seeing as many toys this time around, but scattered here and there. They had a couple little action figures. They had some trading cards. They had a really nice California Raisins book. I really should have grabbed it. I have another one that would match perfectly, but I'm an idiot and I left it and now I regret it. But whatever, I was on the hunt for the perfect vintage toy haul, and sorry, Room Service Vintage, it just wasn't happening here today. So back in the car, on to the next stop, which is, thankfully, lunch. All right, so I'm feeling like I need a win here, people. First two stops really haven't done anything for me. I gotta bring home the gold, especially for my first video back. So I started thinking, a few years ago, I went in a little store in town called Outlaw Moon, just as the owner was checking in a new collection. And this collection was a ton of 1960s vintage Soakies. And Soakies are the bubble bath containers made in the likeness of whatever cartoon character. And I love these things. I've been obsessed with them ever since that day. I walked away with 4 of them that day: Dick Tracy, Felix, Casper, and Mighty Mouse. They were the best in the bunch. They also had the 4 Universal monsters that I desperately wanted, but they wanted like $300 to $400 right then. And I stumbled upon this by accident, so I didn't have that kind of money on me. And ever since I've gone back to this store over and over, those Soakies have been up on a high shelf, the same ones. They've been there every time I go in, and I'm always tempted to look at them again. I never do for some reason. So I'm thinking, let's go back and check out what they've got left. I head in and I immediately make my way to the shelf they always are on, and they're not there. I don't know, maybe they sold them? They've been there like every single time. I feel like no one cares about these things but me. I don't know, I guess I'll look around at some other stuff. As I'm looking around, there's lots of cool stuff. They've got cases, they've got new inventory. It seems like there's a lot more in here than I'm used to seeing. And so something immediately catches my eye on top of the display case. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen me post about superior gumball machines. They're really like banks. They're just like little plastic things. I posted a Captain America one and a Spider-Man one a while back, and lo and behold, they had the Spider-Man one here. I've never seen this thing in person. I was so shocked to see it. I grabbed it, and unfortunately the box was a little beat up. The gumballs are still in there. They're all gooey. It was $50, which seems like an okay price for it, but I don't know. Like, I was really set on these Soakies, and the box is kind of beat up, so I think I'm gonna keep looking around. They definitely have some more carded figures in here than they had before, which I enjoy looking at. Was tempted, but you know, I'm really thinking about those Soakies. I decided to ask the guy, hey, what happened to the Soakies up on the shelf? He's like, I don't know, let me go look. So the dude goes back in the back and comes out with an entire box of these 1960s Soakies, all the ones I remember. I'm getting the impression that they just kind of want these things gone, which is good for me. I'm looking through and they're pretty beat up. There's a lot of chipped paint. There's a lot of missing color on these. The video looks better than it actually did in person. But I'm looking at some of them and I'm like, I think I can fix these. I think I can do something to these and make at least a couple of them work for me. So I pull out a couple, start asking some prices. Again, I think they're just like, they're ready to get rid of these things. They actually said, do you want to make an offer, or like we can look them up? I said, look them up, tell me what you think. Pulled out one particular one that I was interested in. He said $20. I said sold. It is a 1960s Soakie Top Cat. And this one actually had quite a bit of paint missing, but I, being the creative I am, went down to Michael's, bought some plastic paint, and touched it up. And I think it looks great, actually. This is gonna go so well with my other 4, and I'm really looking forward to getting more of these to start a whole collection. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said we were gonna have a vintage haul. A haul technically needs to be more than one item. So, what else can I buy in this store? I start looking around. There's a table in the middle that says 50% off everything. It's mostly tabletop games, but I see something that I cannot believe I'm seeing. I've been looking for so long. It is the Buddy 1984 Secret Wars Spider-Man motorcycle, and they wanted $14 for it with 50% off, so $7. Could not pass it up. I walked away with this sucker, and it looks perfect. I think this was just opened. I don't think that this was like sitting around for years, because it is clean. There's not any dust. There is no goo or residue on this thing. It's perfect. And I'm so happy to have this back because I had this as a kid. I've almost picked it up so many times. Secret Wars is huge for me. Spider-Man, especially like 70s and 80s Spider-Man stuff, is massive. I had the collection when I was a kid. It came with the truck and the car and the helicopter and the motorcycle. And I've missed it. Mwah. And that's my haul, people. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not a massive one, but it works for me. I'm really glad to be back on YouTube, everybody. Please stick around for more videos. I'm excited. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.